of the bosom of love, the cradle of happiness. Wherever you may go in Korea, you can find palaces and halls for school children. They are extracurricular activity centers built up under the warm care of President Kim Il-sung and leader Kim Jong-il. The Pyongyang School Children's Palace, in the heart of the capital city of Pyongyang, was the first of its kind in Korea. After school, many children engage in extracurricular activities in circle rooms according to their hopes and aptitudes. Early in the days of the anti-Japanese armed struggle, President Kim Il-sung set up children's core schools at guerrilla bases. In the first opening ceremony of the Children's Core School, he said, "You are flower buds of our country and pillars of its future. When you make merry, we are also merry, and when you grow well, we are invigorated. Grow quickly to be admirable pillars of the country." The children's palaces in Korea are associated with the care of President Kim Il-sung. One day, right after Korea's liberation from the Japanese colonial rule, patriotic-minded entrepreneurs called on President Kim Il-sung with a good sum of funds to build a large conference hall for President Kim Il-sung. President Kim Il-sung, however, suggested building a palace for children with the money. He said that palaces had been for the kings in the past, but now, in the liberated country, they should be taken by children. President Kim Il-sung convened a cabinet council and had a directive adopted to build a palace for children. That the president gave an instruction to build the children's palace on the best place in Pyongyang became great news for all the people and children across the country. The dream of the Korean children, however, could not come true due to the war ignited by the United States. Even in the wartime, President Kim Il-sung always thought of a children's palace to be built in Pyongyang after the war. When the war ended, he paid deep attention to building the palace. Recollecting those days, a designer says,
오버레이 선생님께서는 전후 빈투에서 복구 건설을 진행하는 어려운 때 수많은 건설 대상들 가운데서도
in the difficult period of post-war rehabilitation, President Kim Il-sung put the building of the Pyongyang School Children's Palace among the major construction projects. And he examined the design on many occasions so as to make it a perfect one for a magnificent and gorgeous palace. Though the palace was designed 3 times larger than that planned before the war, the president demanded that the design be made much larger and more splendid. Encouraged by his warm solicitude, the builders turned out in its construction. Several resolutions concerning the construction were adopted in the cabinet. The Children's Palace thus became an edifice 14 times larger than its initial design. Leader Kim Jong-il also took part in the construction. Those who joined him in construction look back upon the unforgettable days in deep emotion. When the Pyongyang School Children's Palace was under construction after the war, we were middle school pupils. At that time, Leader Kim Jong-il often came out at the construction site and worked hard together with us. Taking a rest by this tree, Leader Kim Jong-il told us about the warm care shown by the president to the school children and implanted a patriotic spirit in our hearts. During his days at Kim Il-sung University, too, he participated in the construction together with his fellow students. Admiring the bird's eye view of beautifully changing Pyongyang one could command from the construction site, he called for speeding up the construction. President Kim Il-sung would not have rest on a holiday. He visited the palace construction site instead. And at night, he called up an official and told him to floor the palace with marble slabs, not hardwoods, though there were many important projects that might need them. That is how the walls, floors, and staircases of the palace were all decorated with marble. On December 31st, 1961, the New Year celebration of school children in Pyongyang took place in the indoor stadium of the palace, which had been completed first. The children danced and sang with the joy of celebrating the New Year at the Palace of Happiness. Considering the aspiration of the children who want to be always with President Kim Il-sung, leader Kim Jong-il saw to it that a bronze statue of the president was erected at the palace. The establishment of the Pyongyang School Children's Palace was the birth of the first palace for the people. President Kim Il-sung and leader Kim Jong-il said with pleasure that now the state took up full responsibility to bring up the children. The parents could work without any worry. Thanks to free education system in Korea, the children are developing their talents to the heart's content, according to the hopes and gifts at schools and the palaces. The circle members at the palace learn how precious their motherland is. Through experiments and practices, they consolidate what they learned at schools. In sporting circle rooms, the children build up their physical strength and grow into reserve sportsmen. There are different circle rooms too to educate artistic skills and bring up reserve artists. Indeed, The Pyongyang School Children's Palace is an extracurricular education center to train children into reliable future of Korea. This is the Mangyongdae School Children's Palace that was built in 1989. The building symbolizes a mother taking children in her arms. Pleased to give another palace to the children, President Kim Il-sung and leader Kim Jong-il are all smiles. The Mangyongdae School Children's Palace is another gift presented to children by the Workers' Party of Korea. Leader Kim Jong-il took all necessary measures to provide everything needed for circle activities of children. The school children study hard in over 200 circle rooms. The indoor stadium and swimming pool of the palace permit international as well as national athletic contests. Art performances of the children are held in the theater with 2,000 seats. Foreign visitors say, "I wish I were born again in Korea. How good Korean socialism is." The palace has many anecdotes about President Kim Il-sung, who chatted with circle members like their father, posed for a photograph with them, acted as a referee at a game, and so on. Proud of their talents, the president introduced them even to foreign heads of state. Officials at the palace say with deep emotion, greeting the New Year 1972, President Kim Il-sung came out at our palace and proposed a toast to the posterity, to the future, and to the good health of teachers.
오보이 수령님의 후대들에 대한 사랑 그대로 경애하는 장군님께서는
Leader Kim Jong-il, who learned the actual state of education for the palace circle members and their level of skills, gave guidance to us.
그들의 교수 교양 실태와 실기 수준도 몸소 알아보시고 지도해 주시었습니다.
Leader Kim Jong-il had the children with good eloquence belong to a congratulatory group for national meetings. He saw letters from calligraphy circle members and sent his replies to them. Saying that there is nothing to spare for the posterity, President Kim Il-sung sent better astronomical observation facilities than those at the State Astronomical Observatory. President Kim Il-sung and leader Kim Jong-il's concern for the school children's palace are endless. They saw to it that special planes and machine tools were made for education at the palace and sent the best musical instruments to the pupils there. They even sent fish and animal specimens. They sent to all school children's palaces across the country experimental and practical apparatuses and facilities that are in step with the trends in the development of modern science. They also took measures to set up schools to educate talented prodigies near palaces. They had competent teachers assigned to school children's palaces and halls to guide the children's circle activities. The day breaking in the new year 1995 after sudden death of President Kim Il-sung, the school children remembered their annual New Year's performance before President Kim Il-sung. They sang songs in tears, longing for him. They had never thought of a New Year's Day without President Kim Il-sung. At the very moment, leader Kim Jong-il was still making his trip to the front line in snowstorm, saying it was only with arms that their happy time at the palace could be safeguarded. Visiting the Samjiyon schoolchildren's palace in the distant north, leader Kim Jong-il taught them how to furnish it better. He saw to it that a local conference hall that had been built to have President Kim Il-sung was used as a school children's hall. He also sent a school bus for the children attending from distant places. A school children's hall was set up at the newly built street in Sariwon city. The extracurricular education centers in different areas of Korea are accessible to all children. Many prodigies are now growing up at the palaces. These children with unique ability are developing their talents to the heart's content on the art stage of the palace. They will grow into celebrated artists. These are future sportsmen who would win international games to have the national flag hoisted. A Korean children's art troupe composed of palace circle members give performances in foreign countries. Many countries invite the Korean Children's Art Troupe and speak highly of its performance. After seeing the performance, foreigners said, "The performance of the Pyongyang Children's Art Troupe is of high ideological and artistic quality. As he brought up such children, leader Kim Jong-il is great indeed." Mass media of those countries gave wide publicity to the performances. Sporting circle members won gold medals at international games, thereby adding glory to the country. Those who developed their hopes and talents as circle members of the palace yesterday are now full-fledged professors, doctors, heroes, artists, and sportspersons. They visit the statue of President Kim Il-sung to express their thanks to him for his benevolence. Bright is the future of socialist Korea, which considers children to be kings of the country and the treasures of the nation. The school children's palaces and halls in Korea will hand down the warm care of President Kim Il-sung and leader Kim Jong-il for the children generation after generation.